Hi, welcome to Layla's English Lab. For instance, let's say that you're working, you're employed, and for some reason you need some time off. You need a few days leave from work. Now, this is a formal request, so we can't just go up to our boss and say, hey, I want 15 days off. It's a formal request. We can't make a verbal request. We have to put it in writing. We have to put it in writing. In this video, I'm going to teach you how to write a formal letter to request time off from work. In this letter, we're going to look at the correct and appropriate layout of the letter. We're going to learn what key information we need to include in the letter, and we're going to learn a little bit of vocabulary and grammar along the way as well. Stay with me till the end of this video, because at the end of the video, I'm going to show you a mistake that a lot of people make when they write this type of letter. You don't want to make that mistake, so stay with me. So, without further ado, let's start writing that letter. Right, so we're going to start looking at how to write a letter to request leave. So how to write a leave request letter. Let's begin. But before we start writing the letter, what is a leave request letter? What type of letter is it? Think about this. You're employed, you've got a job, but you need to request time off from work for some reason. For some reason, you can't go to work and you need to get some time off from your work. So it's not a holiday, it's not a weekend. Usually you have to go to work, but you need some time off. We have different types of leave request, and you need to see which one you need. For example, you might need to request sick leave. Sick leave, of course, is for when you have some kind of health problem or health issue. That's when you request a sick leave. You might need to request a personal leave. Personal leave is to do with some kind of personal problem. You might have childcare issues. So usually you go to work, your children go to nursery or school, but now your children might be on holiday. Your children might be ill. I hope not. And you have to stay home. That's a personal reason why you need to request leave. So it's a personal leave that you need to request. Another type of leave is a compassionate leave. Compassionate leave. This is when, God forbid, you have lost somebody very close to you, unfortunately, has died, and because of that, you want to request leave from work. We also call it bereavement leave. Bereavement. Okay, so that's the type of leave you want to request if one of your loved ones dies. Another type of request, we call it toil. And toil means time off in lieu. Time off in lieu. So we call it toil leave. What does this mean? So usually, for example, you have to work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And usually Thursday and Friday are your days off. But over Christmas or a certain time, you had to work extra. in addition to your normal hours. Now, your employer doesn't want to pay you extra, but they say, I will give you a few days off. So you work extra, but later you get extra days, extra days off, and that's called toil, time off in lieu. Okay, next one is annual leave. Annual leave, and most places have annual leave. This is usually like maybe holiday. You want to go on holiday. Annual leave means it happens once a year. It's an annual leave. It happens once a year. You might want to go on holiday. You might want unpaid leave. So that means that you have taken sick leave, you have taken personal leave, you have taken annual leave, you have taken all of these that you have, but you still need extra time off. Your employer will allow you, but they can't pay you anymore. They've already paid you, so they can't pay you anymore. They will give you days off, time off, but you will not get paid. Unpaid leave. This is apart from, in addition to what you have already got previously and you've been paid. And there are other forms as well, but these are the most popular types of leave that people request. So that's what we mean by a leave request letter. Okay, so we're going to look at parts of a leave request letter, and we know it's a formal letter, so we need to include the sender's address. That's your address. You are the person writing the letter. You are the person sending the letter. So you need to write your address top left. Then you write the date that you are writing the letter. Under that, you write your work address, okay? And that's the person who will receive the letter. Other types of letters, you might have your address on the right. But in this type of letter, all the addresses are on the left. So you write addresses, and then we have specific parts that we need to look at. You can see I've put them in different colors, so we're going to look at all of them. The first one is opening. It's a formal letter, so it has to be written correctly. Next, you need to tell your employer how much time off you want. How long is your leave? When will your leave start? And when will it end? You have to give that information. Also, you have to give the reason. Why do you want this leave? Why do you want to take time off? You need to tell your employer. Sometimes you want your employer to know how they can contact you while you are on leave. You have to give them that information, and you have to delegate work. You have to delegate work. I'm going to explain this when we get to the right slide. You have to thank your employer at the end of the letter, and finally you sign off. Okay, so let's take a look at the different parts. We said we start with the opening. Now it's important, who do you write to at your place of work? Who do you write to? It's important that we know who is in my team, who is my manager, who is my supervisor, who I need to write to. So this is you. In a lot of places, you have another person who is your supervisor, and then you have another person who is your line manager, and you have another person who is your manager. So these are the different people we have in a business or company. Sometimes we don't have all of these people. If you work in a small business or a small company and there are only very few employees, not many staff, very few employees, you need to write to your manager. You do not have a supervisor, you do not have a line manager, you write directly to your manager. That's very, very small business or company. If you work for a bigger business, a bigger company that has a lot of staff, you will have to write to your line manager, not your supervisor, your line manager. A supervisor is somebody between you and the line manager. A supervisor doesn't usually have a lot of power. If you want to request leave, it has to be a type of manager, usually your line manager. Okay. So how do we start? We start with dear, the first name and the surname of that person. Dear Mark Hopkins, dear Mary Simpson, first name and surname. Okay, so we've started the letter. Now we need to tell our employer, our boss, how much time off we want, when it will start, when will my leave start, when do I want it to start, and when do I want it to end. I have to give that information. You can use one of these sentences if you like. I would like to formally request a length of time, leave of absence. Okay, so length of time, it means you have to tell them, I would like to formally request a 1 month leave of absence. I would like to formally request a 2-week leave of absence. For example, you have to tell them how long. Okay, there is a different way that you can write this. I am writing to request a leave of absence for 1 month, 2 weeks, 6 months, 4 days, anything that you want. Okay. The next one, I am requesting a leave of absence of, again, you need to tell them how long, 1 month, 2 days, 3 weeks, anything that you like. All three of these sentences mean the same. They do the same job. So you can choose one of them. And that's how we say how much time off we want. Now we have to tell our boss when our leave will start and when it will end. For example, so this is where we have to give start and end dates. I would like my leave to begin on, you have to give the start date, for example, 1st of September, and end on, you have to give the specific date when your leave will end, for example, 15th of September. Okay. A different way of writing, should my request be accepted? Should my request be accepted? That means if you accept my request. If you accept my request. This should is a very formal way. Instead of writing if, we write should. Should my request be accepted? That means if you will accept my request, it will begin on, again we need the start date and the end date. We have to say that. A different way of saying it, if approved, that means if you approve my leave request, my leave will be from start date to end date. Okay, so all of these three sentences at the top, they mean the same thing. So you just need one of them. And these three sentences at the bottom, all three do the same job. They have the same meaning. So again, you just use one of them. Right. So now we need to give a brief explanation. We need to give reasons of why we want this leave request, why we want to request this leave. Okay. My leave is due to it means because of. My leave is due to, it is because of, for example, a serious health issue. You need to say what the problem is. My leave is due to, for example, very bad back pain. My leave is due to a very serious infection. You have to say what the problem is. I am attaching a letter from my doctor. So that is evidence, that is proof that you want to show to your boss or your line manager. Another example, I am forced, I have to, I am forced to take leave since, because, since my child is at home with chickenpox and I have no childcare support in place. So this means, unfortunately, I have to stay home. My child is ill. My child has chickenpox and there is nobody who can look after my child. I have no childcare support in place. In place, it means arranged. I don't have any support available. Okay, my child is ill, he or she can't go to school, so I have to stay home. That's why I am requesting leave. Another example, the requested leave, again, is due to, because of, due to, is due to the passing away. Pass away is a polite way of saying die. We don't want to say, for example, my relative has died. That's not very polite. We want to show respect. So we say pass away, pass away. The requested leave is due to the passing away of my, and then you have to say who in your family has, hopefully not, who in your family has passed away. You have to usually give the name of that relative. God forbid, that means I hope not. God forbid, I don't know, my uncle, my grandmother, my anybody. I will have to fly to maybe another city, another country. I will have to fly to, I don't know, Tehran. I will have to fly to maybe Tokyo, anywhere, for the funeral, and other related arrangements. So that's why you are requesting leave from your boss. Other examples, the requested leave is for the extra work that I did on, and then you have to give the date. So for example, if you remember before I said toil, that means you only work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, for example, but 1 week you have worked extra. You have worked Thursday as well. Now your boss will give you one of your days off, but you have to request it. The requested leave is for the extra work that I did on, for example, Thursday, the 23rd of March, for example. So you have to say when you did extra work, because you did extra work, now you want some time off, which your boss knows. Another example, I wish to avail. Avail, it means use. I wish to use my annual leave allowance. Everybody has annual leave allowance. They have a few days every year that they can have holiday leave. You're telling your boss, I have holiday leave, now I want to use it. I wish to avail my annual leave allowance, which I believe to be, for example, 15 days. Okay, it means which I think is 15 days. I wish to use my holiday leave, my holiday, and I think it is, for example, 15 days, whatever it is that you have at your company. I wish to avail my annual leave allowance, which I believe to be however hours or days you have for holiday leave. Okay. And the final example here, while we are giving a reason for leave, my request is for unpaid leave, which I am forced to take due to unforeseen circumstances. So now here you are requesting unpaid leave. You know you will not be paid, but you have no choice. You have to take this leave because of unforeseen circumstances. Circumstances mean situations, things that have happened. Unforeseen. You didn't know these things would happen. You didn't know. You couldn't predict. You didn't know. Suddenly they happened. You could not foresee. You didn't know. So you are asking for unpaid leave. You have to take this leave because suddenly something has happened in your life and you have to take this leave. Okay, so up to now we have given reasons why. Now, where the place where you're working, if you go on leave, for example, if you go on holiday, maybe you don't want your boss to call you, email you, you're on holiday. That's fine, okay? But sometimes if we are on other types of leave, our boss still needs to contact us, maybe. So we have to tell our manager how they can contact us while we are on leave. And also delegation of work. I'm going to explain this. Delegation is the noun. It means to delegate. It means when I am not at work, when I am on leave, I am going to tell that person to do that job. I'm going to tell that person to do that job. Delegate, it means I give people responsibilities. I give them things to do. I am not here. I am on leave. While I am absent, other people will do my job. I have to tell them what to do. That's called delegation of work. I have to delegate responsibilities so other people can do the work while I am on leave. So in your letter, you need to include ways that your boss can contact you while you are on leave. And this is a very good way that you can say it. While I am away, while I'm on leave, I am reachable. That means you can contact me, you can reach me. I am reachable on, you give your phone number and you give your email address. That's it. So you're telling your boss, while I'm on leave, you can contact me with this phone number and this email address. While I am away, I am reachable on, I am reachable on, that means you can contact me on this phone number and this email address. Okay. The next part is I have to tell my boss if I have work I have to do or if I've finished all my responsibility. That's something I have to tell my boss. For example, I have submitted all my work so far. Everything, all my projects, all my assignments, everything I have submitted all my work so far, okay? And am up to date with work. That means I don't have to do any other work. I've done everything. I want to go on leave. I've done all of my jobs. There is nothing left. Nobody has to do anything for me. I've done everything. So I'm telling my boss, relax. Okay, I've done everything. Or I have asked, and then I have to give the name of the colleague to fill in for me. Fill in for me while I am away. Fill in for me, that means that person has to do my work for me while I am on leave. I have asked and I need to give the name of that person. I have asked, for example, Jack and his surname, Jack Small, for example. I have asked Bill Sutton, to fill in for me while I am away. So in this part, I have to tell my boss how they can contact me, and I have to tell them if I have done all my jobs or if I still have jobs to do, who is going to do my jobs while I am away. Lovely. Then I have to thank my employer. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for considering my leave request. Thank you for thinking about my leave request. Thank you for reading this letter, for example. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for considering my leave request. Should you need any further information, we've started the sentence with should. Again, it means if. If you need any further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Hesitate. That means don't doubt. Don't wait. Don't even think about it. Contact me anytime you like. Okay. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for considering my leave request. Should you need any further information, that means if you need any extra information from me, please do not hesitate. Do not worry. Don't worry about it to contact me. Contact me anytime you like. Okay? And finally, we sign off. There are different ways that you can sign off. I'm using yours sincerely because at the beginning of my letter, I gave the name of my boss. So at the end, I have to use yours sincerely. I can't use yours faithfully. I have to use yours sincerely because I know the name of the person I've written to. Yours sincerely or sincerely. I can choose regards. I can choose respectfully. I can choose thank you. Thank you is absolutely fine. We can use it in a formal letter. Or I can use thanks again. All of these are acceptable. They are perfectly formal if you want to use them to sign off. And finally, when you have used one of these, you put your full name. You write your full name. Lovely. So now we've looked at all the different parts of the letter. Let's bring it all together. I have also included some extra information. And then after this, I'm going to show you the big mistake that lots of people make. So stay with me. So this is a complete leave request letter. Dear Mark Hopkins, that's the person I'm writing to, I would like to formally request a 2-week leave of absence. 2-week. 2-week is hyphenated because it's an adjective. We don't say a 2 weeks leave of absence. That's wrong. A 2-week. 2-week, no S, 2-week leave of absence because it's an adjective. I would like to formally request a 2-week leave of absence. Okay. Should my request be accepted, it will begin on 2nd of February and end on 16th of February. I have to give the specific dates, yes? February. The first R is not pronounced. February. Should my request be accepted, it will begin on 2nd of February and end on 16th of February. My leave is due to, now I have to give the reason. Why do I want this leave? My leave is due to, it is because of a serious back injury. That's the reason why I want leave. A serious back injury. I've injured my back. I've hurt my back really badly. Unfortunately, so now I give a little bit of extra information. Unfortunately, I have thrown my back out. That is an idiom. I have thrown my back out. What does that mean? That means I have twisted my back really badly. Or, for example, I have lifted something that was really heavy and it put a lot of pressure on my back. So now my back really, really hurts. That's the idiom. I have thrown my back out. Thrown my back out. It's an idiom. Unfortunately, I have thrown my back out and have been advised by my doctor to stay at home on bed rest. To stay at home on bed rest. On bed rest, it means my doctor has told me I have to stay at home and I have to rest in bed. I can't stay at home and do housework. I can't do that. I have to rest in bed at home. On bed rest. On bed rest. I am attaching a letter from my doctor for your attention. That means this is for you to read. I am attaching a letter from my doctor for your attention. While I am away, I am reachable on, I give a phone number and an email address. I have informed John Shepherd and Susan Rake, the names of my colleagues. I have informed John Shepherd and Susan Rake of the situation. So these two people know the situation. They know the problem with my back and have asked them to fill in for me while I am away. So these two people, John and Susan, will do my jobs while I am away, while I'm on leave. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for considering my leave request. Should you need any further information, please do not hesitate to contact me. Respectfully, and then I have to put my full name. So this is an example of a very good quality, perfect English letter that you want to write for your boss to request leave. Now, I kept promising you that I'm going to show you a wrong, incorrect letter. Let's see. This is an incorrect leave request letter. Please do not write your letter like this. It's wrong. Dear Mark Hopkins, that's fine. I am writing this letter to inform you. That's good. Very formal. That's fine. I am writing this letter to inform you that I would like to take some time off. I would like to take some time off. This is not formal. It's very informal, not suitable for a leave request letter. So we don't write that. That's wrong. I am planning to go on holiday. That's very informal. We don't write this in our letter. I have booked the tickets and made all the arrangements. Your boss doesn't care. You have booked your ticket and made your arrangements. Okay, that's not information that your boss needs. That's irrelevant. It's not important. All I need is your approval. That means this person is saying in the letter, I've booked my hotel, I've booked my plane, I've booked my tickets, everything. I just need you to give me permission, please. That's not right, is it? Also, I am pressed for time. That's not very professional, is it? I am pressed for time, so I would really appreciate you getting back to me, you answering me, you getting back to me as soon as possible on this matter. Thank you. Now, this is a very incorrect letter. Once more, let's see why it's wrong. I would like to take some time off. That's very informal. We don't say that. This section that I've booked my tickets, I've booked my plane, I've booked my holiday, I've made all the arrangements. That's not important for your boss. It's like you are putting pressure on your boss. That's not very professional. All I need is your approval. Also, I am pressed for time. That means you're telling your boss, quick, 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 quick. Answer me quickly. I don't have much time. I want to go. That's not very professional, is it? So this is an incorrect type of letter. Unfortunately, a lot of native speakers write a letter like this, and it's wrong. So do not make this mistake. Okay, I hope you found this lesson useful. In the comments section below, do tell me if there are any other types of letter you would like me to create a lesson. Thanks for watching.